Earlier they put some sums on the board and we have to copy it and then solve it, and like this we have to do it. But this time our ma'am explains it properly.
There are creative things, creative and all predictions, games and all the things, activities.
We can't mug up them. We want to think and we want to write in our own words.
You feel quite responsible and like you have grown up.
What is going to happen if I drop this on the floor?
Ma'am, वो टूट जाएगा.
वो टूट जाएगा. Prediction हो गया. That's prediction.
What we teach in Exceed, the way we teach, is the students themselves, they collect the information, process, use their brains on it, and themselves reflect and act, find the solutions. And such an education is long-lasting, life.
Exceed is a comprehensive primary and middle school program designed to ensure that all children can learn better and get the best foundation for life.
What we realized was that if schools have to improve, three things need to happen together. One is teachers need the right kind of tools. Second, they need the right kind of training to enable them to use the tools. And third, which is very important, they needed a long-term implementation and hand-holding process. The reality was that very few schools had that. The big innovation in Exceed is that it brings together these three parts.
Researchers on the impact of Exceed in classrooms show that the improvement in student learning in an Exceed class is double of that in traditional classrooms. On closer analysis, the findings reveal that Exceed helps children do better, both in recall and application-based questions. In fact, the biggest beneficiaries were the children with below average academic performance, where the improvement was as much as 63% compared to only 31% in a non-Exceed classroom.
Class 3 there was a test. From 25 marks they get 9, 6, and now there is a test, they get full marks.
Each one of them has been able to manage their own work, their own learning, and have given better results than the traditional teaching that used to happen. And believe me, without exaggeration, these requests for evening tuitions are just not happening. Because there is so much of good learning that is happening in the classrooms and so much of student involvement that is happening for their own learning's sake.
If you take Exceed, almost all the children, they are doing better in every activity. It's not only the top 10 or 15 children, not only the 90% scoring children.
Each child learns each concept in class through the Exceed 5-step learning method. This teaching learning cycle is well supported with an all-encompassing teacher toolkit which leads the teacher and student through all stages of learning.
Exceed is designed taking all the board's curriculums into consideration, even ICSE, CBSE and state boards of different states.
The learning outcomes, whatever are mentioned at each level, with each lesson plan in Exceed, are really good. Once the teacher is clear with that, she will make the children also be clear with the lesson.
Even if we don't get good quality teachers, these manuals are there and these manuals will see us through. And not only see us through, help those teachers also to learn and grow.
Let me try and look at it as a subject where there is Exceed material versus a subject where there is not. The ones where Exceed material is available, he seems to understand the concepts much faster.
From the workbook, he himself has learned so much about it and he's answering the questions on his own. So I feel he's really learned a lot than we feeding and telling him.
The learnometer is a really important peg in the Exceed solution because it is the proof of performance of the entire Exceed system in your school. And through that you know whether everything else that you've done, whether it's producing academic results for your school.
Why did it travel further as we increase the height?
Because as height increases, the potential energy also increases.
Very good, Ananya.
It is very flexible. They don't insist on implementing verbatim whatever they are saying. It only gives flight to your imagination. If you feel something is not very practical, suit the environment, suit the village or the city or the school or the area where the school is being run.
Exceed's practice-based teacher training and instructional leadership programs enable and empower teachers and academic heads with skills and strategies to use the toolkit and reach the child through multiple ways.
जो यहाँ पे हम लोग का करिकुलम चल रहा है एक्सीड का, उन सारी चीज़ से तो मुझे मतलब ऐसा लगा मैं एक टीचिंग की एक नई दुनिया में आ गई हूँ. मतलब मेरा एक टीचर के रूप में अगर मैं कहूँ तो फ्रेंकली कि यहाँ आके मेरा पुनर्जन्म हुआ है.
Why did the ball stop at a place?
The weight of the ball and the surface. Yeah.
The team constantly keeps in touch with the school. So there's a lot of comfort feeling even for the teachers. And there is hand-holding and guidance. Any point in time they can always call them, visit their schools, visit the schools which has implemented Exceed program. So there's a good networking in that sense.
Finally, Exceed provides a long-term implementation and support program which keeps the learning ecosystem of a school energized with offerings for all stakeholders concerned with the learning needs of a child.
How do you know the air was inside?
Air is in the polythene and the mouth is not open, so it will be harder to.
It was a very informed decision that we took of the choice between technology and taking on a more holistic curriculum. It's an Indian system, well adapted to the needs of an Indian student, made by Indians, that's very important as well, and keeping in mind whatever's happening around us. All of these things I think make Exceed a good program.
Child coming happy to school, going back happy, and yet the parent can benchmark some changes in them. If he's become more vocal, if he's become more confident, I think we've done our job.
When you want the best for the children and the teachers, it does make sense, it does reap its benefits.
You have to invest money for 1 year and you have to look at the results. Results are bound to come. We got the results.
Exceed is the best thing that could have ever happened to us in JNL. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart.